Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive this time. It's all about cats, those furry little enigmas that share our homes and, let's be honest, completely rule our lives. You guys sent in a ton of stories from spat cats, and whoa, some of the things you guys shared, they're incredible.
I know, it's like a never-ending source of amusement, right?
Yeah,
Cats are truly one of a kind.
no kidding. We've got bewildered new cat owners, tales of midnight bathroom shenanigans. It seems like there's a whole lot of head scratching going on when it comes to understanding our feline overlords. One thing we saw a lot of in your submissions, how weird cats can be. For example, someone wrote in about their cat who's completely obsessed with the bathtub. Like every night, it's a whole thing.
Ah, yes, the midnight bathtub meetings. I've seen that one a few times.
Right. So what's the deal with that? Are they trying to tell us something? Taking a bath, sending us a message in cat code.
Well, while we may never fully crack that code, there's some theories about this. Did you know, for instance, that cats are drawn to cool surfaces, especially in warmer weather? That smooth porcelain. It's like their own personal oasis.
Okay, that actually makes sense. Like a spa day for cats.
Exactly. Now, the toilet bowl, on the other hand,
Oh, don't even get me started on that. Like, they have a perfectly clean water fountain right there.
I know, it baffles the mind, doesn't it? But think about it like this to them. That constantly flowing water, it probably seems much fresher than a bowl that's just sitting there. In the wild, they'd be looking for running water, not still water.
So it's not about being difficult, it's about instinct.
Exactly. It's those instincts that can make them seem so weird sometimes. But then again, those quirks are part of what makes them so endearing, right?
Okay, true, true. But what about that whole love-hate thing a lot of us experience with our cats? You know, they're all cuddly and want to be touching you 1 minute then.
And then the second you move, they act like you've just sprung a trap.
Yes. Like in that post where the cat wants to be touching their owner 24/7, but then freaks out if the owner even twitches.
Ah, yes, the classic feline paradox. It all comes down to their need for security, but also their love of independence. They want the warmth and closeness, but they don't want to feel trapped.
So it's not that they hate the contact, they just really value their space.
Exactly. Even a small movement can be interpreted as a threat, triggering that instinct to flee. It's like, I love you, but don't even think about restricting my movement.
Makes you see those moments in a whole new light, doesn't it? It's like, poor little guys, they just want to feel safe. Speaking of feeling safe, though, let's talk about mealtime.
Yeah, feeling safe seems to be a big theme when it comes to cats, doesn't it? Like that story about the cat who will only eat if their owner is in the room.
Oh, yeah, that one was interesting. Like, talk about a stage 5 clinger. Is that another security thing?
It totally is.
Yeah.
Imagine you're a cat in the wild, right? Totally vulnerable while you're chowing down. So having their human nearby, that's like having a bodyguard while they eat. Security system in the form of a human.
Wow, so it's like they need that reassurance that they're safe.
Exactly.
But that can't be great for the humans, right? Always having to be there for every single bite. Like, what if they have to leave the house?
Well, that's the thing, right? We don't want to encourage too much dependence. We want them to feel comfortable eating on their own.
So how do we fix that? Any tips? I have a friend, you see, who might need a little help in that department.
Of course. Try putting the food bowl in a quiet spot, away from all the hustle and bustle.
Make it like a little cat dining room.
Exactly. You want them to feel relaxed and secure.
Oh,
And elevated bowls can be good too. Gives them a better view of their surroundings so they can keep an eye out while they eat. Just like in the wild, up high, surveying their domain.
so it's all about recreating that natural environment as much as possible.
Precisely. Speaking of natural, how about we talk about those scratching posts?
Oh, man, the eternal struggle.
Yes.
Scratching post versus the couch. Why is it so hard to convince them that the scratching post is a much better option than, say, a brand new sofa?
I know, right? It's like they have a sixth sense for finding the most expensive thing in the room to sharpen their claws on.
Yeah.
But we have to remember, scratching, that's an instinct for them, not just a way to redecorate our furniture.
True, but it would be nice if they could express that instinct in a way that doesn't involve, complete destruction.
Well, the good news is that scratching actually serves a lot of important purposes for cats.
Oh. Tell me more. I could use some good news right now.
Okay, so for one, it's how they mark their territory.
Like leaving little claw marks everywhere.
That's part of it, but it goes deeper. You see, cats have scent glands in their paws.
What? Really?
Yeah, so when they scratch, they're not just making visible marks, they're leaving their scent too.
So it's like their way of saying, this is my turf.
Exactly. A big old keep out sign for any other felines who might be sniffing around.
Wow, I had no idea. So it's not just about the claws, it's about communication too.
Exactly. And don't forget, scratching also helps them stretch and get a good scratch in. It's like a full body workout for them.
Who knew there was so much to scratching? So how do we redirect that instinct then? Like, the subreddit had ideas about different materials, placement. Is catnip the answer?
All good questions. Let's start with the materials. Cats are surprisingly picky about their scratching surfaces. Some prefer the tall, vertical posts, others like the horizontal cardboard ones. It's all about finding what your cat prefers. And yeah, catnip can be like magic. It's like offering them a little incentive to use the scratching post instead of your furniture.
Like, hey, this post, this one's got the good stuff.
Exactly. Makes it much more appealing. It's like finding the right art piece for your cat, something that speaks to their scratching soul.
You've got to appeal to their artistic side. I like it. It's like their own little world, isn't it? And we're just trying to figure out how to speak the language. Speaking of which, let's talk about those little quirks, those meows and head boops and what was it? Ah, yes, making biscuits.
Oh, the biscuits. Yes, cats have a whole vocabulary, don't they? Those biscuits are a classic.
They are pretty cute when they do that, but what does it actually mean? Are they sending us a message? Are they hungry? Sending a secret transmission?
Well, it actually goes back to kittenhood. When they're tiny, they'll knead their paws against their mother's belly to help stimulate milk flow.
That makes sense. So like a comfort thing.
Exactly. So when they do it to us, it's like they're saying, you make me feel safe and loved, just like mom used to.
That is seriously adorable. Okay, what about all those different meows? I swear my cat has like 20 different meows for every possible scenario.
Right. It's like they're trying to tell us something. And they are, in a way. You see, cats don't really meow to each other in the wild. Meowing is primarily for communicating with us.
So they've learned that if they make a certain sound, we'll give them food or attention or whatever they want.
Exactly. They've figured out how to train us pretty well, I'd say.
I think you might be right about that.
Oh, hi.
Okay, last but not least, the head boop. It's like a little headbutt of affection, right?
That's a good way to put it. It's called head bunting, and it's how they transfer their scent onto us, marking their territory in a way.
So it's like a way of saying, you're mine now.
Precisely. A sign of trust and affection, and a way of making us part of their group.
It's amazing how much we can learn from just watching them, isn't it? Like, every little thing they do has a meaning behind it.
Speaking of learning, someone wrote in asking if a cat's past experiences can affect how they behave today. Like, they mentioned they have a rescue cat who's a bit anxious. Makes you wonder what that cat went through, you know? It really does. Just like people, cats are shaped by their experiences, trauma, neglect, even just being moved from one home to another. It can all have an impact on their behavior.
So for those cats, it's even more important to be patient, right? Give them the time and space they need to adjust.
Absolutely. Every cat has a unique story to tell, and sometimes it takes a little time to earn their trust and help them feel safe and loved.
Well said. Well, it seems we've just scratched the surface, the fascinating world of cats today. So much to learn, so many mysteries to unravel.
This is wonderful.
It really is. And to all our listeners out there, keep sharing those stories, keep asking those questions, and keep those amazing feline companions close. They might be weird, they might be wonderful, but they're always, always entertaining. Until next time, everyone.